In a world of flame wielders and dragon gods, one devil fruit user stands apart. It doesn't destroy islands. It doesn't summon beasts. It doesn't transform one into a giant dragon. It's something far worse. It takes your very soul. This is the Soru Soru no Mi, a devil fruit so feared that it turned a child into an emperor and a nun into a devil, better known as the soul fruit. It is a fruit that blurs the line between life, death, and domination. Welcome back to the Devil Fruit Guide, the ultimate breakdown series over here on the Everything One Piece Explained channel. And today we're going to uncover the horrifying truth behind the soul fruit, the power to steal lifespan and create life from fear. Like usual, we'll start with the origins and the users, then we'll go into the strengths and weaknesses and other tidbits about the devil fruit. So jumping right into it, the Soru Soru no Mi is a Paramecia-type devil fruit that grants the user control over their souls, their extraction, manipulation, and infusion into objects. Its first known user was Mother Carmel, a deceptive figure who manipulated people, sold children to the world government, and created homies using fragments of her own soul. Elbaf, she performed miracles using this fruit, compressing the flames into a homie named Pandora to imitate the sun god. However, it was all an act. One day, Caramel, she vanished. In the aftermath of Lin Lin's birthday rampage, the soul power passed mysteriously to Lin Lin, who would later become known as Big Mom. She didn't even know what a devil fruit was, but she would turn this power into a god complex because she would eventually become the Yonko known as Big Mom. So let's get into the powers themselves. So the soul fruit gives the user the power to extract lifespans from any target that fears them. The soul appears as a ghost-like mist that leaks from the victim's body. If the target hears the user's incantation and feels fear, the user can pull the soul out seconds, years, or even entire lifespans. This isn't just a drain, it's an execution through fear. One command from Big Mom says she asks you, how long do you think you live? If you flinch, then you die. And given Big Mom's reputation, it precedes her, so a lot of people have built-in fear of her, though there are people, as we've seen in the series, who are not scared at the sight of her. However, that's only half the horror that you have. So the user can also infuse soul fragments, in particular non-living objects, creating living beings that are known as homies. These objects, they gain intelligence, emotion, speech, mobility, and sometimes special powers. And as we've seen before, there are some that retain the memories of the original soul that was implanted into them. The stronger the soul, well, obviously the stronger the homie. Homies can even consume other homies in order to absorb them. We've seen that as well. Because of how Big Mom used the soul fruit on such a unprecedented scale, Big Mom became a monster. On her island, every citizen is forced to pay a lifespan tax, a full month of their soul every 6 months, or they leave the territory through means that you don't want to do. These fragments are collected by soul minions sprinkled across the island, animating the environment into thousands of loyal homies. But her most terrifying creations are the special homies that are made from her own soul. Napoleon, the sword homie that can communicate with other homies and transform into a blade. Prometheus, a sun homie capable of creating massive fire and merging with Big Mom's hair for even more fiery attacks. Then you have Zeus, living thundercloud used to summon storms or electrify her punches, or as we've seen, be a simp for Nami. Then you have Hera, a newer thunder homie created from Zeus's betrayal, who merged with part of Zeus's soul to become even stronger. These aren't homies that are merely weapons. Instead, you should view them as extensions of Big Mom's will to a degree. She can even extract their soul if they disobey her, like she did when Zeus tried to join forces with Nami. Basically, this devil fruit is Big Mom using the concept of strength through sacrifice if you really want to get deep into it. The soul fruit offers more than manipulation. In a way, it offers self-empowerment. Big Mom can exchange some of her own lifespan in order to power herself up. While souls cannot be infused into living beings, the users themselves appear to be an exception to an extent. It's possible for one to sacrifice a portion of their own lifespan in exchange for extra power and size, with the amount of strength gained being dependent on the strength of the soul. Even Big Mom's own skeleton can become a homie. During combat, she's shown the ability to have her bones restructure themselves after injury using soul fragments, giving her a self-healing edge that no other Yonko truly possesses. She can even animate other devil fruit-based creations by placing soul fragments into crackers, biscuit soldiers, or Prespero's candy. She temporarily gains control of another user's abilities. It's a terrifying layer of tactical warfare when you think about it. However, like with all devil fruits in the series, it's not without its own weaknesses. So the biggest weakness here is that proximity is the key. The user must be physically near the target in order to extract their soul. The other weakness that you have is that fear must be required. If the victim doesn't fear the user, the soul extraction, it fails. This is why people like Jinbe and Law and Kid, they're able to resist Big Mom. Then you have the fact that silence can also break the spell. The incantation must be heard, meaning if Big Mom is muted or she's interrupted or you're not able to hear her, then the ability's not going to trigger. Souls also cannot be placed into living people or corpses, only inanimate objects, though in some rare cases, as seen with Charlotte, a soul removed can be re-injected to revive a lifeless body. Homies have minds of their own, and they can disobey, they can betray, and they can even be manipulated. If they experience extreme fear, they will wither and they will die instantly. Every soul fragment targeting, it is to a degree imprecise. Big Mom once tried to feed Zeus's soul to Hera, but due to proximity, it went to Nami's climb attack instead, giving Zeus a brand new host. Now, homies created from other people's souls, they're also vulnerable to soul-based counters, like we see with Brooks, Yomi Yomi no Mi, and if their original memories are tampered with via, say, the Memo Memo no Mi, then they can become confused and uncontrollable. Now we have to look at how this devil fruit is a reflection of the users. So Soul Fruit isn't just a tool, it also mirrors the user's heart. Caramel used it to deceive, creating false miracles and selling hope to the highest bidder. Big Mom used it to dominate, imposing her twisted version of peace to a degree by stealing souls and building an empire through fear. And really just the domination aspect makes sense because Big Mom is, well, she's kind of big. Now, where Caramel controlled others through lies, Big Mom controls them through sheer terror. Her homies, they're a replacement, in my opinion, for human connection. Her utopia, it is a lie that is built on sacrifice and submission. Love, well, it's conditional because it is rooted in control and fear. The fruit reveals what both of these women truly are, in my opinion. One is a wolf in sheep's clothing. The other is still a child screaming for the mother who abandoned her. That is why when Big Mom lost her memories, Big Mom became a much more likable character like we see her in Wano. In conclusion, the Soul Fruit is one of the more versatile and more complex devil fruits in my opinion. It doesn't need to overpower you. It only needs you to be afraid. Because if you hesitate, if you die, if you so much as flinch, then your soul belongs to the user. Obviously, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, clicking here on the left to check out more videos from the Devil Fruit Guide, or click here on the right to check out my blind reactions going through One Piece chapter by chapter from the very start of the series as an unspoiled reader going through One Piece for the very first time.